So about a month ago, I caprified some Ronde de Bordeaux figs. Here's a caprified one. Here's another one. This one's not ready, but this one is. And next to it is an uncaprified one. So we're going to take a taste of Ronde de Bordeaux, caprified versus uncaprified, and see if it makes a difference.
Here's a professionally made but unnecessary intro. So let's talk about figs. Let's talk about figs.
All right, another exciting day. So what we've got here is caprified Ronde de Bordeaux and uncaprified Ronde de Bordeaux. Now, Ronde de Bordeaux is usually thought of as a uniferous tree, so it's supposed to make just the main crop. It is one of the earliest main crop figs, if not the earliest main crop fig, and so this is a perfect fig for the Pacific Northwest. Now, we've had ideal conditions here this year, so have some of my friends ripened Breba from this? Yes, you can. In ideal conditions, you can force, fantastic results from a tree that may not typically have done otherwise. So these I pollinated. This one I pollinated about a month ago, and this one was natural. So we're just going to get the weights on these two just to kind of document stuff. So the caprified one is 18.5 grams. The uncaprified one is also 18.5 grams. So that's pretty good. Now this is going to require, again, precision cutting because they're not, when they're smaller, um, I don't want to take a half for me and give my family each a quarter. So I'm going to try to do the surgical precision. So this we've got caprified Ronde de Bordeaux over here. Definitely ripe, looking beautiful. And then over here, we've got the unpollinated one. Kind of cut through the ostiole. So definitely a little bit of a different appearance. And again, I think these are very similar degrees of ripeness. So, but you can see how the caprified one is definitely a deeper, darker color. So next step is let's get the bricks loaded for the caprified one first and get a sense of what that shows. So we'll do the mixy. Again, there's not a lot of nectar here. This is pretty jammy and thick. Now, this one, because I'm doing two tastings, I guess we can try to guess that bricks. So let me taste the caprified. Actually, yeah, let me taste the caprified one first, and then we'll go to the uncaprified one next.
Nobody wants to hear gross sounding fig chewing into a microphone.
Okay. That is incredible. Let's do the bricks first, and then I'll go into the tasting of this one. So I'm going to say this bricks was 21.4. So I'm going to cover that from the sunlight. Yeah, I was lied to. So, I mean, just so sweet. So tasting wise, it's still on my palate. It's just berries forever. Moderate seed crunch, delicate skin, not a lot of chew. Jammy, thick, coating my mouth, and just delicious. I mean, there's no other way to describe why this is such a good fig. It's just full of berry, nonstop. Berry. So, we'll see what my family thinks about that one. Let's wipe the bricks meter clean. let's load it with the uncaprified one. Now that I'm looking at this, this one might be maybe a day behind. I don't think it's going to affect the flavor at all, but let's get a sense of what that one will show. Let me taste this one next.
Nobody wants to hear gross sounding fig chewing into a microphone.
Okay, so before I taste that one, or go over the tasting notes of that one, let's do the bricks on this one. This one is not as sweet. I'm going to say 22.5. So closer. And that matches what I think is going on. So let's look at these figs again. Do I think caprification did anything in this case? Absolutely. This fig, it's pleasant. There's berry. There's less seed crunch. It's still delicate, but it's less potent. It's just a nice berry fig. I probably should have eaten this one first and not spoiled myself with this, because this was so full of berry that it really overshadows this one. So, I mean, again, do you need to caprify things? No. But do I need 207 varieties of figs? No. It's fun, right? It's fun to grow these varieties. As a scientist and as a doctor, I like playing with variables. And so this literally is the same plant on the same exact branch, and the only difference was I injected pollen into that one a month ago. So go back and watch how I did that video on my Battaglia green. But I think this absolutely, for this particular plant, mattered. We'll see what my family thinks about these two. I just thought this one was way milder, still very pleasant. Maybe a little bit of a grassy undertone, not from like an unripeness, but just more prominent. This one was just nonstop full of berries, red raspberry, strawberry kind of taste profile. So exciting, fun. See what you guys think. If you've had experiences with pollination and whether you think it affected things. And we're getting close to some more main crop figs that are going to be ripe here in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for more videos. If you like this content, please share, because it makes me happy to interact with people. And I learn a bunch from the comments as well. So leave your comments behind. If you have any questions, leave them there as well. And can't wait to talk to you next time. See you all later. Bye.